Okay, in this demonstration we're looking at what happens with different wells of different sizes pumping. The central area is the river, and we can see what the local water table is by looking at the height of the river. And remember that the water table, this is an unconfined aquifer, and that water table is going to spread across, and so our water table is pretty even all the way across this river bottom. Now both wells are working wells, so let's pull some water. And here comes the water in that well. And this is a larger well, maybe from a farm, but here comes that water. And so we're pulling water from both wells. Now, the problem is that one well is a whole lot bigger than the other. And what will happen if an industrial well starts to pull water and pulls it because it's going to run 24/7? Maybe it's a power plant and it needs to pull water to act as cooling. So it's going to pull this water constantly, all day and all night. So it's pulling water. What is happening to the level of water in the river as this industrial well starts to pull water? Well, we've seen already that the local water table has dropped, and we can see that the level of water in the river has dropped. Now let's see what's going to happen to this little domestic well. This is Joe down the street. He's got himself a well, and he's pulling water, to water his daisies and to take showers. Taking showers is good. Well, so far so good. He's got water. Even though the river has dropped a little bit, he's got water, although notice that it's pulling back every time. Now what's going to happen eventually if this big well over here keeps pulling water without any kind of regulation on the water? Well, there goes the river. So the river has not run dry, but through use, we've dropped the level of the river, so now it's below the level of the water table. And if you could see the change in the color, the water table has now dropped to a much lower level because of use. Now, there are other reasons water tables drop. What about in a drought? Now, Joe over here still can take his shower, but he's got a major problem because, if you can see, already he's getting some bubbles of air instead of getting water. So let's see what's going to happen to poor old Joe. Let's see, we're going to pull a little bit. Oh, there comes some water. Well, that was a relief for Joe. Okay, but we're going to pull a little bit more water out of this big well. And we're going to keep pulling some water. Let's pull a little bit more. Let's see what's going on with Joe. Okay, that well is doing just fine, but let's see about Joe. Joe's over here. He needs a shower. And Joe's, oh, there's some water, but not very much. It's just coming in little drips and drops. Joe's in trouble. Everybody's in trouble because Joe can't take a shower. But the point of this is what happens if we don't regulate and watch how we're using water. Does water belong to one person, or does water belong to everyone? And so for that reason, there are laws that cover the use of water and protect Joe from not being able to take a shower while still allowing the domestic businesses, not domestic businesses, but businesses, maybe big farms, to use enough water to get the job done. But they have to share the water, and that's the point of looking at what happens to water tables when we pull water out of different sized wells.